Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, everything in between and or otherwise. My name is Mr. Boogeyman. I am a variety streamer over on twitch.tv/Mr. Boogeyman, and today I'm going to be teaching you about the wonderful and wacky world of archipelagos. So with that, let's get started. So I want to prerequisite by telling you that I'm not a professional in this system in any capacity. I'm just a hobbyist who likes to play the games, and I've learned some tips and tricks along the way, and I just want to show you how to do that. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into the setup guides. We're going to download the Archipelago program. We're going to install the latest release, which is 0.6.6, and I'm just going to grab this executable file for Windows. After the program finishes downloading, it's going to ask you if you want to open its GUI or graphical user interface, and that program looks like this. Where it actually goes is inside your C drive, inside the program data folder, and it's going to create its own Archipelago folder. You can use this launcher executable file to open this GUI program, and unfortunately you're going to kind of have to learn how to do a bit of both of these in order to accomplish what I'm going to show you here today. So after everything's downloaded and you know where everything is, I'm going to take you back to the archipelago.gg website, and I'm going to show you the first way that I learned how to do it. We're going to go into the list of supported games. Currently on this website, there are 79 supported games. We're just going to grab one, Mega Man Battle Network 3, and every single one of these games will have like a game page, a setup guide, this one's really important, and the options page. We're going to go into more than that in a second, and I'll show you the setup guide down this screen. In order to play this, you're going to need BizHawk, which it gives you the link to be able to click into here. I probably won't go too heavy into that. It tells you what kind of ROM that you need or where you can find it on Steam. Every single game that you have on here will have some kind of weird prerequisite for what you can and can't do. Some of them are Steam games, some of them are ROMs. A lot of them use BizHawk for the retro ones, at least. I'm actually going to take you 2 pages back now and show you kind of how to set up the options for it. So this is where actually all of the randomization happens. Put in your player name, very important that you remember what this is. I'm going to do Mr. Boogie, and then this will be all of the settings for your game. These yellow question marks do a really good job of telling you what each thing does, and this is where you're going to generate your randomizer. I'm just going to do a raw one. We're going to go into our export options, and it's going to generate what's called a YAML file. So now that we've finished our generation of the YAML file, I'm going to quickly touch on what this is. This is just a text document. That's all this is. This is just what tells Archipelago to generate a randomizer with the game. So your name is really important. If your name is the same as any other player's name, your file won't work. It'll kick you out right away. It does a pretty good job of knowing this. You can generate everything in the randomizer seed through these text documents. This is a really bare bones one. I'll show you what they normally look like. Head back to your Archipelago folder and open your players file. You'll have templates, and this has a list of all the games that are on the Archipelago site, maybe even a couple extra ones. I see Ship of Harkinians in here. We'll click on that, and you can actually generate the randomizer in here. This will have a bunch of green text that explain to you what everything is. This is another way to generate these YAML files, but I'm going to show you the sneaky secret third way that I learned. So this is a Google Doc that I think a friend sent to me from the Archipelago Discord. And this is currently everything that they are working on, things that only have an AP world, things in review, stable and unstable versions. And this is just links to the GitHubs for the page, so we can grab any one of these. Let's grab one. It'll be easy to kind of generate. Kirby Crystal Shards. And the file that you're going to be looking for is called an AP world file. So we're going to grab this AP world file. We're just going to click it and open it. And it's going to automatically know where to go and install itself in the Archipelago Games folder. So one of the things that I learned is that if we come back to the Archipelago launcher program, we can head into the options creator. And after running that AP world file, now it'll have the options to generate a YAML file right in the Archipelago program. as you click and install those Archipelago world files, you'll have access to the YAML files. One of the problems that I had starting this sequence is not knowing where to find YAML files, and I didn't know that you could generate them just with the program. So now that you know how to generate YAML files, you're pretty set to give a file that you've randomized to somebody that kind of knows what they're doing. But if you wanted to generate it in your own program, you would just take the YAML files and mix as many games up as you want, and or as many players as you have, and you would just put them in the players folder for Archipelago, and then you just generate them with either the generate executable, or you can just click generate in the program. It does the same thing. Everything goes into your output folder, and then there's a ton of steps from there. After it's generated, it'll give you a zip file. I recommend unzipping this in a file that you know where it is. You'll always get one of these server files, and then depending on how many different things you randomize and what you randomized are, you'll just get different files. That's why it's kind of hard to cover a video on this, is because there's so many different things depending on what you're trying to randomize that can happen in this output folder. So I'm just going to go over like basic hosting stuff. What you do with the Archipelago server file is you would head back to the Archipelago website, and you would go to this Get Started drop down. You'd go to Host Game, and it's going to give you the option to upload that server file. If you upload the server file, it'll tell you how many people are in the rooms, and it'll give you a screen that looks like this. And this is like where you have access to everything that's in your randomizer. You can click this multi-world tracker and it'll tell you what items you have for what game. You can click the sphere tracker to see what items you're getting are in what sphere that you're in. You can click either the names that you've made for the randomizer and it'll open a game client, and it'll give you like a window that you can use to connect that way. This is where you can enter server commands. So if I wanted to say there was a player that couldn't stick around, you can say release Mr. Boogie, and it would kick them out of the game, and it would give you all the items that they had in their game, so that way you don't have to, if somebody has to leave early, or sometimes life happens and you wouldn't have to give up on the randomizer totally. You can just say, okay, well, we'll try again later, buddy. And that's kind of it, guys. It's kind of all I have for you. All the rest of the information's in the FAQ. You can find the server commands in there. They've got a Discord, very helpful Discord with people in there. All of the games have the game setup guides and stuff. Some of them are a little weird to read sometimes, but eventually you'll just get it. And then if you're using the Google Doc GitHub link system, I mean, they have setups and stuff in there as well. Very difficult system to learn. I know. There's just so many variables to be able to teach everything all at once. They have guides. I believe there's also an Archipelago wiki. I mean, there's just so much information for this stuff, you guys. One of the last minute things that I wanted to add was, if you wanted to just randomize a bunch of games together and play them by yourself, you totally can. I watched a guy, he randomized 4 Ocarina of Times into themselves and then did them. He essentially played the game 4 times, and I'm pretty sure it works the other way too. I'm pretty sure you can log into a game somebody's already in using the same credentials and play the same game at the same time. I mean, there's just so many different possibilities and options. With that, that's where I leave you. Go out there, make mistakes, mess this up a couple of times, and most importantly, have fun. Thanks for watching.